Okay, good to go. Well, felt like it was a productive bye week. We did practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then allowed all of us coaches to get out on the road, do some recruiting, really Wednesday night for some of us, and then Thursday, Friday, and some of Saturday, which was nice. Hadn't been on the road for quite a while, seeing players play or practice, getting around coaches again. So really enjoyed that. And then practiced again yesterday with our eyes on Utah. So I feel like it was productive. It's always, bye weeks, you never totally know. You're in a little bit of rhythm of the season and speed of play, and really have challenged our guys to use this week to get back to speed of play that we need to play fast against this opponent coming in here in Utah. Probably playing as good as anybody in the league right now. Got a bunch of respect for the program. Still, thoughts and prayers with that program, with the tragic adversity they've gone through. And so just, again, Coach Winningham's been doing it at a really high level for a long time, and we know we got a challenge coming in here Saturday. Questions?
So you've had three, I think you've had 3 buys before this year, and you've obviously had some as an assistant. Did you make any adjustments to the bye week at all from previous years? And if you did, why would you have done that?
Not drastic adjustments. I think there might have been a buy or two that we did to actually practice on Thursday that we did not do this year. Not huge changes. Again, we like spending like Monday the whole day. We emphasize just looking at ourselves, six games of tape. What we got to get better. What's worked well. So we did that again on Monday and emphasized that on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then everything else after that was focused on Utah. So nothing drastically different.
In regard to Utah, I'm asking this because of Utah. As a head coach, that phone call you get after midnight, is that the worst feeling you can ever have? Looking at that phone, wondering what's coming on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually not good if they're calling at an hour like that. So obviously I haven't gotten a phone call like what Kyle has, but it's usually not good.
Okay, Coach, so third down conversion percent, third down defense is ranked 124 out of 130. It's kind of been the Achilles heel of the defense for 4 years now. Is this a scheme issue? Is it a personnel issue? And then how do you fix that?
I definitely where we're at is not where we want to be this year, and we took a heavy look at it on Monday. And there's a lot of things that have gone into it. I think it's deflating, especially when it's third and longer, to get ourselves off the field. Not going to tell our opponent this coming week maybe what adjustments need to be made, but adjustments need to be made. And I do. I think there's some of it schematics, some of it is we need to make the plays when we're in position to make them. And at the same time, you play some offenses that are effective now. I mean, sometimes you just so focused on ourselves, so you got to give credit to our opponents. But it's been an emphasis starting this week, and we need to improve it.
How much value do you see in having your bye week in the middle of the season like you do this year compared to maybe 2 or 3 weeks into the season or later in the year?
Yeah, we've had it a couple of different ways through my coaching career. I do like the idea maybe in the middle, but it's almost like you want to pick your bye once you get into the season. If you're playing pretty well, you'd like to keep playing. But coming in the middle of it is, I think, a positive. I prefer that rather than maybe after game 10 or something.
And what factors do you see that maybe make you believe that your team can be a better team in the second half of the season?
Well, the way they work, we're going to need to improve and play better because our opponents are doing the same thing. Again, each game is new, but we got to really improve in all 3 phases. We know you look around this league, every game's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and so we got to be playing our best at the end of games.
Coach, to be number 1 in longevity in any conference, you must be doing something right. Coach Whittingham, is it his ability to recruit? Is it the physicality of his teams? What is it about that program that has created this, the positive situation he has?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, he's got an identity and what they recruit and how the type of players they recruit into a scheme that's been established, really on both sides of the ball, but especially defensively. He's been consistent with that scheme and had a ton of success with it. And they got a great fan base. Home field advantage had been there for a long time, and so that continuity's paid off, and he's got a real established identity about that program.
We didn't get to talk to you last week, so I have a question about Washington State. I know offensively you want to be balanced as an offense, but you were running the ball at like 8 or 9 yards per carry. What was the thinking in that last possession to go away from the run, especially first and goal? First two down.
First, when we were about on the 14, 15-yard line. Yeah, at some point we were going to want to take a shot at the end zone. Some of it, as the clock was beginning to go, if we continued in our heavy base of the run game, we were going to have to substitute and use some clock. And so we did take the attempt on first down that we got beat at left tackle and got sacked. We had the guy open. It's always hindsight. You could have done some things differently. There's no guarantee. We did run it earlier in the games for some runs of 1 or 2, and that would have been really difficult if you don't get a conversion or a hit on running the ball. Now you're substituting, a lot more time goes. So, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Coach, did you get healthy? And if so, who do you get back?
Yeah, we've got definitely some bumps and bruises halfway through the season. Getting someone particular back, we've been pseudo healthy to be able to play, but we got some guys that are beat up that definitely could use the rest. Tyjon should be good to go. Is a name I know people have asked about. He should be good to go Saturday.
And when you have a situation like Saturday night, 2 future opponents, they're playing, you're in a bye week, do you watch it as a fan, or do you watch it and break it down? What do you do with it?
Yeah, I definitely watch it, not as a fan. I don't sit there and break it down, but your mind's always stirring and watching schemes and players and guys making plays and flows of games and all of that. And so I was able to catch a good amount of the Utah-Arizona State game Saturday night.
Okay, so this is fan-based question, but every week on the depth chart it comes out Addison Gums, number 1. Any chance that he's coming back anytime soon?
Not currently, no. Still not available.
With Cam Rising at quarterback at Utah, they're playing at a much higher level since he's taken over. What in particular that has he done to elevate that team?
Yeah, he's throwing it accurately. This guy is athletic. He's extended some plays, managing that offense really, really well. The decision-making he's shown the last few weeks. I mean, these guys are playing good football. They really are. You watch that second half, how they just took over that game against in really all 3 phases. But a lot of times offensively starts with the quarterback for them, and he's doing a great job.
What are the similarities and differences between Jamar Jefferson and B.J. Baylor?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they're similar in that they got nice timing to their carries. What I mean by that is, they get the ball in their hands. It's not just a full speed go. They're allowing guys to work up front and set up their blocks, and sometimes you got to stretch the defense and then puncture and get vertical. I think both of them got that skill set. I think both of them can be physical at the second level, linebacker level, of more or less trying to run guys over versus trying to make them miss all the time. They got some similarities.
They're so kind of the same kind of back.
They are. They are. I think, Jamar had some home run punch that we still, want to continue to see out of BJ, but he's had some big time carries too. I mean, I'm even thinking back now on some earlier games. He's got some long runs in him. So they're similar.
When you need an offensive lineman to spell somebody like last week with Levin good, it seems like it's Marco Brewer most of the time. What are you seeing from him that? I mean, he does seem to be the 6th guy.
Yeah, he's been working hard. He's got some position flexibility to play tackle and guard. And we feel confident putting him in the game. We really do. And he's gotten in a few times, so he prepares each week, and he's prepared to play.
Coach, you talked about the Rice-Eccles Stadium advantage for Utah. After coaching during that Washington game a couple of weeks ago here, the energy in Reser, how important is that to you and to the players as far as getting that home field advantage here?
Yeah, it's huge, and it does start with our student section, who they've been awesome here all year long. You want to have a home crowd that impacts the game, makes it hard on the opponent, but also our players can continue to feed off the energy of the crowd. And so, we'd love it to have another packed packed house and start with the student section with their energy. But then we got sustained 4 quarters of good football to keep the crowd going.
Coach, the league this year is all over the board with parity, it seems. Is that what you expected this year, or what do you think about how scores are?
Yeah, I kind of expected it to be really competitive in each week. One school can beat the other. I wasn't really surprised to kind of see how it's played out, because it is. I mean, we're not even halfway through the conference schedules, and each week I couldn't pinpoint you. By far, this is the number one team. There's a couple teams that have played probably the best the last couple weeks, but that don't mean anything moving into the next weekend.
Coach, Utah held Arizona State to 97 yards and no points in the second half. I mean, what's the keys to that defense?
Yeah, I mean, it starts at the line of scrimmage. They can affect the passer, play the run really well, play some tight coverage and challenge you in man, but also mix in a good disguise behind some zone defense. And so they can create havoc in different ways, blitzing or not blitzing, and just playing tight coverage.
Pretty good. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys.